understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, I want you to turn to that. I want you to take a look at paragraph number 2, negotiated sentence. B, in that particular paragraph. What does that say?
Defendant should possess no gun during the term of the sentence and the other after should be restored.
Defendant shall possess no guns during the term of the sentence or at any time thereafter unless his right to do is restored. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And your signature is on page 37. Is that correct? That you've read this agreement, you've had an opportunity to speak to Mr. Russ, Ms. Norman about this agreement, and no other promises other than the ones made in the document in furtherance of this agreement. And you gave this freely, voluntarily entered into this agreement without force, threat, or coercion. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So it's not like we didn't have a conversation about this firearm, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
So, as I mentioned earlier, I don't take pleasure in sending people to prison. It's part of the job.
If you follow the regular channel, the Seti Nash channel, I asked y'all if y'all wanted me to explain to y'all why Young Thug's brother Unfoonk should be fired. Shouldn't fight.
The attorney has asked me to consider a revocation of 2 years. And I certainly respect her, and I certainly respect that, you don't know unless you ask. The issue I find aggravating in this particular circumstances are several. You got arrested with a gun within 6 months of you being placed on probation. And I agree with the state that you're not a candidate for probation because all you had to do is just complete your probation and do what you're supposed to do. Instead, you were riding around the car with a gun in violation of your probation and what this court explicitly had conversations with you about. Explicitly. On the record. And for that reason, sir, I'm going to revoke the balance of 9 years and 6 months. And you will serve that in the Department of Corrections. And that will be the sentence of the court. Anything further? No, Your Honor. All right.
If you wait to the end, I'll show you the exact clip that actually doomed Lil Buddy. Here's what happened in court today as I watched almost 4 hours of it. Unfoonk had some lawyers a cop come in, probation people, and everything like that. And the lawyer on the upside brought in stuff that didn't even matter to the case, but painted his character. He was not getting a violation for being outside, for breaking curfew, but they brought it up anyways. He wasn't for violation for not paying his restitution, which was like $21. But you know what happened? They brought it up anyways. They were not going to revoke bond because he didn't do his community service, but they brought it up anyways. You know what they should have did? You know what the white lady should have did? Objection, Your Honor. That's not why we're being brought here today. Objection, Your Honor. No objections. Everything was allowed. Even when the video was brought up, the judge had to say out his own mouth after it was played, why did you bring up the damn surveillance camera of him being on Cleveland when y'all ain't even trying to charge him? The judge did the lawyer's job. So now he's doing 9.5. Blame him first. Blame the lawyer second. Because the person who owned the gun wasn't even there in court. Bruh. It's sad, man. It's sad. But he didn't give a damn, bro. He didn't care. You was back in your hood, pulled up on Cleveland a bunch of times. They was watching you. They watch you niggas. Pulled up on Cleveland a bunch of times to the same gas station that has a camera pointed right there. And you didn't give a damn. So now you don't give a damn. They gave you 9.5. And then, if you watch this other clip, he might be looking at a life sentence because they said they about to redo that whole trial for the murder that he got off of. But they brought that up to paint him as a bad guy. You don't believe me, bruh? Man, go ahead and check it out.
That's why the court should only revoke 2 years of his probation. I want to point out, Your Honor, that although it was overturned, the defendant recently had a murder conviction overturned, and he is essentially out on bond pending a new trial on a murder conviction. In 2020, he is at 221 Cleveland Avenue with this case in this indictment with a stolen firearm, Your Honor. So in saying that he should only get 2 years revoked because this is his first felony offense, I believe that that does not represent the entirety of the defendant standing before the court. The purpose of probation is to allow the defendant an opportunity to show or prove himself to the court as being worthy of being outside of confinement. The court pointed out to the defendant no less than 6 times, as I have tabbed in the court's exhibit, that is the transcript of his guilty plea, what the purpose of a special condition is, and the fact that one of the special conditions of the defendant's plea is that he neither possess, transport, or have under his control a firearm. The sentence that was entered included a written statement, as is shown in the court's exhibit, that the special condition of the defendant's probation included that he performed 750 hours of community service, that he possessed no guns, shall not have guns during the term of his sentence or any time thereafter unless his right to do so is restored, that he commit no criminal acts, and it also includes curfew requirements. We are not asking the court to violate his probation on those curfew requirements. We are just pointing out the conditions of the defendant's probation. Your Honor, it is in writing in the sentence that the defendant is advised that a violation of any special condition of probation subjects the defendant to a revocation of probation, and the defendant may be required to serve up to the balance of the sentence in confinement. Your Honor, one of the reasons that certain conditions are made special conditions as opposed to general conditions is that general conditions subject defendants to up to 2 years in confinement, as opposed to special conditions which subject the defendant to the revocation of the balance of his probation in confinement. Your Honor, and the defendant has not only violated a special condition of his probation in that he has possessed a firearm, he has possessed a firearm no less than 6 months after being placed on probation. He has therefore committed a new felony offense, 2 new felony offenses that are alleged in the petition, and has shown that he is not.
All right, man, so y'all know we just hit 1,000 subs. We're trying to get to 10,000 subs. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Help us out, help us out. I'll catch y'all at the 10,000 sub mark. New video dropped in. We out y'all.